Now, Stephanie, the other night on Route 10, you had state police cruisers pull over a vehicle. And as they were in the breakdown lane pulling someone over, apparently a teenager, a juvenile, came crashing along, crashed into one cruiser that then hit the other cruiser. Individual has been charged with DUI. I'd like to just hear about it. I think it's important for people to know, are there additional penalties if in a situation like this where you are literally crashing into a police vehicle?
Well, first of all, I think everyone's all right. And so that's a miracle in and of itself. I heard that they were taken to the hospital with injuries, but not severe injuries, which is wonderful. In this case, I believe the juvenile is getting charged with a DUI, a reckless driving, and driving to endanger physical injury. So those are some really, really serious charges. I mean, you see juveniles charged with DUIs, but the combination of DUI, reckless driving, and driving to endanger personal injury, that definitely escalates it in the juvenile world. Although he could still go to juvenile court and be in family court, those sanctions and those penalties that could be imposed on top of a loss of license are dramatically higher than if it was just a DUI with an accident.
Now, there was any other advice to someone in that situation? We don't know. We don't know if someone had a medical episode. There's a lot that's unknown here. If you were the parents of that young individual, that person, what might you advise the guardians of that teenager?
I mean, in any situation where there could be drugs or alcohol, I think a parent or any concerned family members should definitely see if this is, an ongoing issue with either drugs or alcohol, maybe get into, a treatment program, anything like that. Anything you do, especially in family court, to better yourself because of an accident or something that happened definitely goes a long way in family court. Family court is supposed to rehab the individual, not punish the juvenile, and make sure this never happens again. Although there are some punishments in family court, it's not the same thing as adult court. But I think anyone involved in a serious accident with drugs or alcohol, the best thing that you can kind of do for yourself is, get treatment if needed, do everything to make sure that this doesn't happen again. And there's a lot of ways the family court can help with that, but especially in a case like this, where there's a young person supposedly or allegedly drinking underage that gets into an accident, and everyone's just really lucky that everyone's okay.
Folks, again, we're speaking with attorney Stefanie Murphy. And Stefanie, this next story, it's pretty interesting, where you have Rhode Island's had this data breach, but then you have these people that apparently 500,000 was stolen from EBT cards, and people depend on that of money to be there. I know that this past weekend, countless people were going in to use their EBT cards, and the accounts were frozen because of somehow that someone had activated their cards. My question is, because people have reached out to me, these are individuals. They count on the money. That's how they're going to feed themselves and their family. What type of recourse could someone maybe have against? I recognize it's the state of Rhode Island, but they in good faith go to use the EBT card, and it's frozen, and now they have no money for groceries.
I think this case is a little bit different than other problems that the state's been having, because I'm not sure how the data was leaked or how they got access to the cards. But in Rhode Island, with an EBT card, if you're a card holder of an EBT card, Rhode Island makes it the responsibility of the person who owns the card to keep their card safe and their PIN safe from unauthorized use. So I think they would have to show that through no fault of their own, this leak occurred and they had no wrongdoing in terms of entering their information on the unsafe, website, using their card, not in the correct way. But so if they're able to kind of satisfy that hurdle, then as of right now, it doesn't appear to be any plan for Rhode Island to pay these lost funds. So I would definitely, if I was one of those card holders, that's money that you're entitled to, money that you depend on, definitely reach out to the state and ask to get reimbursed that amount. I heard it was approximately like $500,000. So that's a lot of money that was fraudulently obtained and used.
I think it's unusual simply because it's technically, it's not like someone lifted it out of